Well, you know who does understand humans almost uncannily well, and like
I forgot that this was the next news story, and I still conjured this name.
Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima has given a USB stick like a will full of video game ideas for after he's dead.
I think this is awesome. I think this is great. I love this idea.
I love that. I do know that if this man can turn his consciousness into an AI, he absolutely would.
That's what this tells me. In the story, he says that he perhaps has 10 years left of time to make games or films.
That
how old is he?
60.
Yeah. Just turned 60.
So he...
I don't know. I think it could go longer, but that's just his estimation. I don't know.
So he's saying that he did this because he realized that he turned 60 and that as he is aging, he's realizing that like his physical body is going to stop keeping up with himself and his ability to consume with and judge like the things that he wants to make, and that as he becomes 70 and 80, his eyesight will worsen. He's gonna think slower. It's just, you know, he's gonna deteriorate, and he's like getting to the point where he's old enough that he has to actually legitimately consider the fact that he literally won't physically be able to keep up with making games anymore.
Okay, so but Martin Scorsese is 82 and still making movies.
I mean, sure. I don't think it's impossible for him to keep up, but like it's a reality that a lot of people can't. And so you don't know.
Your involvement is different at that point. Martin Scorsese is not making movies the way he used to. And as a consequence, his movies come out different than the way they used to. And I think for Kojima, it seems like there's a bit of a feeling of he might want to stop working on games before that happens.
Yes, I could see that. Kojima is, especially ever since he got free of Konami and has had entire control of his projects within what budgets will allow. I think that he really appreciates that and really wants to. But he also realizes he wants that full control, and I think if he gets older and still does it, he's gonna have to give up some of that.
Now, I don't think the actual implication here is that he's planning on stopping on working on games before he dies.
No, I don't. No.
It's clear that he plans to work on games until he dies, which is why he made the USB stick in the first place, because it'll have his ideas in case he dies. But it's made him come up with ideas such specifically pertaining to aging. Being an effect on your character and, you know, the way it works. He gave an idea that is, quote, it starts out with the player being born, you're a child, and then gradually over time you become an adult in the game. You fight various enemies, like with the previous examples, MGS3's the end.
Right.
If you keep playing the game, you will become a 70 or 80-year-old man. However, at this age, you will be weaker. Your eyesight will worsen. When you're a teenager, you'll be able to run faster, but by the time you reach 60, you'll slow down a bit. Kojima explained, revealing that although your character will be in better physical condition when they are younger, they will have more knowledge and experience when they are older. This aging would affect your strategy as to how you would deal with enemies, but no one would buy it.
Well, I mean, okay.
He's right.
I think you combine this. You combine this with a Sifu Infinity Blade-esque thing where you use your prime to affect the world in a certain way and drop certain knowledge, and then that character dies. You start with a new character who doesn't know any of that stuff, and then work your way into those new spaces.
And you're like picking it up as an example. That's like Rogue Legacy,
right? You are passing down knowledge, but you have to guide the new character to the places where, all right, here's where I drop this knowledge. Build on it.
All right, I'd be down for this.
Yeah,
I'd be down for this.
There's a Wushu martial arts game.
Okay.
That is entirely about this.
Okay.
I think that's Sifu.
Yeah,
I think you're talking about Sifu.
No, it's not at all Sifu. It's way fucking crazier and absurd.
Okay.
This is a game where you like kidnap people, put them in cages, and then like create enmity by putting their family in cages, and then like you accidentally piss off monkeys. And,
okay, so my game is entirely different from this.
Generational issue for your family.
I'm not talking about this, whatever this is.
No, this is an extremification of a similar idea.
Good lord.
On.
I wish I could make games, man. I would make some games.
I think it's Path of Martial. No.
I mean, you can make games.
It's hard.
Yeah, but it is hard. You can still do it. I believe in you.
Yeah. This story got me like on a sobering thought of like, man, imagine being like a 60-year-old game creator, and then you work on AAA games, and you think about the length of development that comes with that. Like, you're 60. All right, how many games are left for you?
Well,
yeah,
so
that's true.
That's something that I actually had recently with the Switch 2 stuff, where like, all the guys who were big NES people are going to be in their 70s in a minute here.
Yeah.
Or they already are in their 70s.
Yep.
So realistically, this is going to be the last round of games from the original Nintendo people that you know and love.
Man.
Like Shigeru Miyamoto is 72, dog.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like,
ooh.
He's gonna run out of time.
So
I
like
found it. It's called the Matchless Kung Fu.
Where do cages work into this kung fu?
It's fucking crazy. I can't get into it. I can't get into it.
That doesn't sound like something I want to get into, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Funny game.
God.
Real quick, AG Enuma is 62.
Yeah.
So yeah, like once again, we have probably one full console generation of those big old Nintendo people.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's done. And you got to hope that their successors learned a lot from those guys.
They've had a lot of time.
Yes, they have.
Yeah, and Kojima is infamously an ideas guy. He's an ascended ideas guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so he must pass on that power of being an ideas guy.
Man has great ideas
to his successors.
That man made walking engaging
behind his ideas. Yeah, he did.
Engaging.
Yes. Hold down those left and right triggers for your dear life, and you're gonna walk across this landscape for 15-20 minutes while fucking ghosts that are defeated by piss and shit are coming at you.
Well, another game he proposed during this interview was a forgetting game where the player would have to play through quickly because the main character is gradually forgetting important information and abilities. And if you take too long of a break from the game, for example, if you don't play every day, the main character will gradually forget things such as how to fire her gun or what their job is.
Oh, that's kind of fucked up.
And the forgetfulness builds up until the player is unable to move. And players would have to take a week off school or work to play it.
What? I don't know, man.
I don't. It's very obvious that these are coming from the man who made Boktai.
Yeah.
This is. It is very. When I hear all these stories, I'm just like, this is definitely the man who made Boktai.
So the thing is, I hope that his ideas USB stick is filled with ideas like this, and then the people who take over are just like, well, that's insane, and no one would play that, but we can do this with it.
I mean, I feel like that's Kojima's history, is that he comes out with a bunch of really fucking weird ideas, and then a bunch of like rational men in suits go, okay, so can we tone that down?
We're not even men in suits, just here's something that people will enjoy playing.
Now he has his own studio where there are fewer of those men, and therefore he can get crazier.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is going to be my hot take for the day. I think Kojima's best work was Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 4.
Mm.
I think that man without an editor is just like, I enjoy Death Stranding a little bit more now that I'm going back to it, but I also like sit here and go, am I enjoying this as nearly as much as I enjoyed any of the Metal Gear games? And the answer is absolutely
it's
not.
a different game
It feels
too.
too high-minded. I feel like I need to
or aiming too high-minded,
pull myself in and go like, I need to enjoy this art when I'm playing Death Stranding.
See, I feel like it's trying to be high-minded, but it is some shit you would get from someone who is in their first year of philosophy class in college.
Well, the thing is, some of this shows up in Metal Gear Solid as well.
Yes, but he obviously has, and some of that shit in Metal Gear Solid, I fucking cringe at.
No,
but it's not as
note, though, is that it's first year philosophy student who has been gifted the power of prophecy.
Yes, yeah, that is true. Like, that stuff totally shows up in Metal Gear Solid, but it's contained a little bit better.
I feel like the way they structure the Metal Gear Solid world, with its enemies and such, I think, like, you go down rabbit holes. We have that, wiki that they released for the PS3, just like trying to figure out what the hell even happened. But it's a little more digestible than Death Stranding, which is like, it's a post-apocalyptic future, but it's like, there's this man just sat and made up what a new world would look like. Whereas Metal Gear Solid, like, I can figure this out. It's in the real world, sort of.
In this article, he actually talks about how he wanted to do more weird stuff.
I bet
in Death Stranding, he wanted to make Norman Reedus get slowly more haggard and disgusting. But then he was like, he's a big superstar. He's got to look good.
Yeah, he's an actor. He'll, act.
Yeah.
He's fine. This is not The Rock we're talking about. This isn't Jason Statham.
He's gotta make him. He's like, I gotta make him look good. I don't want to make him look haggard and disgusting as much. He already did make him look haggard and disgusting. He just didn't want it to get like.
That was just Norman Reedus.
Didn't want to go all the way with it.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm calling it there. Yeah. I think that's a fun note to end on. Kojima's ideas will live on, and probably his skin. He'll probably be a character that pops up over and over again in future games.
I am sure that there will be plenty of people who totally do that. They like put a Hideo Kojima stand in their game.
Yeah. All right. That was a week of video game news. A lot of bummers, some fun things in there.
Yeah,
but you know how it is.
Week of video game news full of bummers. That always happens.
I
feel like there's someone who listens to this podcast every week and will literally stop playing video games because of this.
Look, we're working on it, you guys.
Right.
It's just the nature of being in your late 20s, early 30s.
We're working on it. Us specifically, we're going to fix video games.
Yes, we're going to do it.
That's what we're doing right now. Yes. We're working on it. Don't worry about it.
And you can support that by giving us some likes and subscribes to help our channel. That would help us a lot. Mm-hmm. Feel free to follow us on social media and various social medias you've been seeing popping up in the top left corner of the video version of this podcast. We are on Discord, which if you want to go join our Discord, we are hanging out there talking about video games and everything else. Otherwise,
do us on YouTube.
Yes,
YouTube's important.
YouTube's huge for us.
YouTube stuff.
If you could help us out there,
watch all our YouTube stuff.
That would be great. We'll be dropping clips from this very podcast throughout the week. We're going to get some edited content to you on Friday, and then other than that, we will be back here on Sunday to do another episode. So, yeah.
Please subscribe, or I will circle my cultivation base to destroy my fleshly body.
You keep these just feel like less about trying to coerce people, more like excuses to torture yourself.
Yeah.
It's weird. Anyway, all right, you guys, we're heading out of here.
Snapping while he lights himself on fire.
Exactly.
All right, we're getting out of here. Go play video games, you guys. Bye.
Go play video games, peoples.